What's up, everybody? What's going down? Welcome back. Call to the Pen HQ. Fancy show on MLB absolutely anywhere. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cheree. A sweep is as lucky can be. Kicked some tail yesterday. Yeah, Jay, how do you like that one? You must have been busy. I usually get some love on that. Crip Zombie Insight. What's going on? Good morning. Let's get back into the check cashing business, everyone. That was a lot of fun. Right? We went from, I wonder if I could fill a show of about one game to, oh crap, we're running long, to sweeping the board. All centered around a lot of the really cool work that we did. Yeah, I appreciate you, Insight. It's good work by all of us. Grab the spear, grab your shield, and jump into the phalanx, defending Sparta, where we give to the book nothing and take from them everything. Oh, baby. How great was that yesterday? A lot of fun. I'm going to miss baseball, right? We're all kind of slowly realizing, right? It's like a game. Drip, 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 drip. And then, it's going to be gone. But not for long, for me at least. I jump right into the fantasy writing for the next year. I'll be doing my rankings. We really never stop preparing. Brian, Crypto. What's going on, everybody, man? How cool is this? Like middle of October, a single game on the slate, and people are into it. Yeah, Phillies. We were saying that. Man, I really wish we could have got that one on the sheet, Jay, but we definitely have it on record. I hit it also. That 9-1 on the Phillies sweep, looking strong. I mean, right? It wasn't to kill the Diamondbacks. It's just, it was, and I got stung early in the playoffs, so I'm not hiding that stuff. I thought that Diamondbacks just might have been a little outmatched. They kind of played out of their shoes. Things kind of corrected with the time off and just the way it lined up. Phillies just built for this. It's built for this. Playoff baseball, we talked about it like yesterday, right? It's no coincidence. Man, MLB Dream posted this yesterday. I want to say 16-2, 15-2, the team that homers the most. Again, it sounds intuitive because home runs are guaranteed runs. But it's really hard to construct runs with the quality of the pitching. And maybe in particular, more so, we've seen a lot of days off. Which, is wheels up for the bullpen. Houston actually had, JP France follow Framber, he looked sharp. I was diving through the bullpen stuff. I realized I didn't really have a lot of detail on it. I didn't want that to happen again today. All right, let's dive into the thing that we do. Single game on this slate, man. I can't believe it. Houston on the road plus 110 dogs at Texas. Christian Javier on the bump against Mad Max Scherzer, chairman of the board. Old Blue Eye on the bump. He's back. So many question marks here. I honestly don't know where to go. I was in the Degenerate Rounders group chat. If you are interested in that stuff, you should tag Matty Williams on Twitter. I'll get you in there. I kind of felt like if there was an over, it was coming today. But then as I was looking at the bullpen stuff for both teams, have been so good, I thought maybe not. Then I was thinking about maybe like the F5 over. But then you see Javier's playoff stuff. Watch this. We're going to dive into everything today. Rate, review, and subscribe to the fastest show on MLB absolutely anywhere before we put this thing in the cupboard for a few months. Man, I don't know what I'm going to do in the winter time without you people. All right, let's look at Javier. One game in the playoffs so far. He went 5, none. 1 hit, 9 Ks. What? 5 walks. It's always something with this guy. Maybe I should have started with the season stuff. We know it's a roller coaster ride. 162 innings in the regular season, 4.56 ERA to a 1.27 WHIP, 7.33 OPS. Nothing really to overreact to. The earned run indicators and the estimator is not great though. Right, the xFIP north of 5, expected ERA at 4.5, Sierra at 4 3/4. Really, at the very least, kind of validating the poor ERA performance. 9% walk is worth what we want to see. Again, I'm not going to beat it to death every day, but we go over ball rate instead of walk rate. Makes sense, right? 38% ball rate's really poor and probably more indicative of a higher ball rate than 9%. 55 first strike rate is extremely low. 56 fly ball rate's extremely high to pair with a near double-digit barrel rate. Almost 8% blast rate. That's 1.4 homer 9. You can see the underpinnings of how this guy gets in trouble. A bad lefty-righty split, especially against lefties, which we know is a problem, right? If you're going to struggle against lefties and you're facing the Rangers, you always want to be thinking about Corey Seager. When we get to the offense, let me forget that one. But the lefty-righty split for Javier, really tough. Lefties batting .273, OPS north of 800. Javier striking out less than 19% of them, walking nearly 10% of them. Righties, he's dominated. 189 BA, 637 OPS, 29% K rate. So if you're looking at any of those strikeout props or hitters, I haven't, because I like to pair them. You know which side to go to. Right, that Seager under 1 strikeouts probably live. And sometimes Seager is like plus 165, just to give you an idea. I'm going to try and filibuster to it later on. Also a tough split here. Javier much better at home than he's been on the road. Road stuff kind of rough, 750 OPS, ERA north of 5, xFIP also north of 5, which means even with regressed home runs, right, you're still there. Home run rate up near 2. Rough go, rough second half. I wanted to kind of dogpile Javier, actually. I think I bet against him in that game where he didn't give up any. Of course, he walked the world. Stug, what's up? Has the Houston bounce back? All right, let's see if we can get there. This one's going to be interesting. All right, now that we did the overview for Javier, let's zoom in a little bit. Like I mentioned, he had the one game he looked really good, but too many walks at the Twins. The fastball, tons of usage, man. 53 use. Tons of use in that game. Slider, 37 use. So what we're really seeing is this true kind of 2-pitch development BGC, what's going on. Right? It's truly a 2-pitch arsenal at this point. Right? You add those two together, is what's that? 37 and 59 is a lot. 96, almost everything. 59 CSW. 81% whiff rate on that slider. It was devastating. 13 of 16 swings were whiffs. So there is like this playoff Javier. Again, right here we go, narrative street. But you got to include it when you're looking at a single game, especially the playoffs. We know the gravity, Jim Pine, what's going on. Really appreciate everybody kind of jumping on, getting part of this. Jim Pine's on Scherzer under 12.5 outs. We're going to get to it, man. I might go on the over on this one. I think we're going to get 80 pitches. We're going to get to the Scherzer side. I think I like the over side. But again, there are a lot of question marks. I mentioned that at the open. Let's get back into Javier. I don't know if I have any real action on him, Jay, because again, I'm worried about all the performance stuff. Though he's been great in the playoffs. 38 playoff innings to a 1.91 ERA and a .96 whip. I mean, just domination from Javier in the playoffs so far. 38% K rate, but the big shaking butt is a 14% walk rate. So basically, when he's falling behind, he's letting hitters go, trying to go after the big strikeout all the time. Though it's worked. And 38 playoff innings is a lot of high leverage to an excellent result, right? We can't take that away from him. It's definitely a dangerous game to play. I don't think there's much of an argument there. Opponents, I just came around. I think opponents are batting 6. I think I had .62. Even if it's 162, let's go at 162, just so I don't get misquoted. If anything, I've over delivered. Just absurd. But again, I mentioned the bad splits in the regular season. Hard to ignore that. The struggles on the road. 3.7 ERA at home. 5.17 ERA on the road. Then you get into the arsenal for Javier. Again, we mentioned the kind of two-headed approach there. It's fastball and slider. 58% use on the fastball. Man, that's a ton of fastballs to a 491 X slug, 27 whiff. So the 27 whiff is pretty good. He gets away with that. He's got pretty good vertical movement on it. 13 inches, right? Remember, we want that lower the better, right? Flatter the better on the four seamers. You could throw it up more distance plus deceptive element, right? That's the shorthand version. Not a ton of run, but you don't need it when you're at 13. He's at 13 by 5.5. Only 6-foot extension. Again, not great. There are shorter pitchers that have a better extension. That pitch has been responsible for 21 of the 25 home runs allowed. I think that's where I'm leaning with this. I'm a little worried about Javier really kind of towing this line against a very dangerous team. But then again, you get the slider on the season. 30% use, 329 X-lug, 29 whiff. That's a money pitch. right? Usage, X-log is contact quality, whiff rate, that swing and miss ability. 31 games started, 11 quality starts. Not great. I have no money starts, 10 strikeouts 3 times. Right, Javier, not really checking the boxes for guys that move the needle. Jeff L, yo, good to see you. OPMG, mi gente. Grab your spears, everybody. Let's go. There's room in the phalanx. We know exactly. We make room. Like Transformers. We make room for you. Slow march. As we yoke them out. Again, you got to be worried about. I've been calling it the needle moving, right? Moving the needle, those determinative starts. Again, money starts, if you're unfamiliar, something I developed. 7 innings pitch minimum, 2 earned run maximum. Pretty simple to understand. Those are the starts that matter, especially when you're getting strikeouts. Not really Javier's bag, but bars are set extremely low today. And I was doing the digging, you know it. Death, taxes, sun rising in the east, setting in the west, bears making dookie in the woods. And me up before the curse knack of dawn to bring you this bad boy. Fastest show in MLB, absolutely freaking anywhere. You know it. You know it. One-man band. Craziness. Anyway, check the lines. 12.5 outs. Javier has gone over 12.5 outs in 27 of 31 games. Jay, can you check the line on that? I'm seeing like minus 135s or so. Oh, well, you see again, were you? Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the lefty stuff, but man, 27 and 31. I almost feel like we're ignoring the odds here. Minus 135, back in the napkin math. Implied probability is what, like 44% or something, right? Gosh, 27 and 31 is pretty hefty. But again, we know he could just get yoked. He just did it in the playoffs. It dunked in my face. I have a lot of uncertainty. I'm not in love with this. I'm just kind of laying it out. Jay, if you love it, I'm into the stuff that you love. Because I'm kind of fence-sitting, but right, that one feels pretty strong. Over 12.5 outs. The line for hits is set at 3.5. He's gone over 3.5 hits, 21 of 31. That one again closer to 2/3. Those sometimes are juiced. Walks are at 1.5. He's walked 2 batters, 18 of 31. That one I think was juiced to the balls, though. Yeah, that's the walk one. I like the walk prop. But man, minus 200. I almost wish they offered like an alt for that. I'd be willing to eat a little bit of juice on the 215 to get the third walk. I'd rather make that trade. Jay, we paid a little bit of juice this postseason. I don't think I could go to minus 218, man. I don't know if I could do it, bro. That's just so heavy. Minus 218 is too. I don't know if I could do it. You want to do it? I don't know if I could do it. And we're not allowed to pair it. I don't know. I think that's what I would want to do. I don't know, man. I want to look away. If you want to do it, I guess you can. Because I think it hits. One start at Texas for Javier. Went 4 1/3. Gave up 8. So we saw the ugliness. I know that was at the center of some sharp people's analysis today. Somebody mentioned it was the Scherzer prop, but again, Javier at 12.5. It's why would it be a 12.5? Although what's funny is even in that one he gave up 8, I guess he did get the 13th out. So you gotta like that, right? You gotta go 12.5, man. I think we gotta get him to 4 1/3. He does it all the time. So I think I like that one. I think I do like Javier over 12.5 outs. I think I like him over 3.5 hits either. Also, but maybe with the way he's been pitching in the playoffs, maybe not. I could see pumping the brakes on the hits. But if you pump the brakes on the hits, I think you have to bet the walks, right? We've talked about this also throughout the season, how you try and build tickets that correlate and make sense and will lead you to a profitable venture overall. We did that yesterday. And believe it or not all of our plays necessarily were directly correlated, right? That we were over outs and over walks. Although I guess one could say the longer, more innings you go, the higher chance of a walk is, but someone else say higher walk is meant on base and a higher chance of giving up runs. Even that one is 6.5, it's hard to think that he doesn't go either of those. But I would say the way he's been pitching, kind of dancing around with the super high walk rate in the playoffs, that right? 15, right? I mentioned that 14.5% walk rate. The player's 38% K rate. He's a different pitcher, right? He's just coming with the field, trying to throw his best stuff all the time. And again, that will get you in trouble from time to time. Let's look at the Texas offense now for a second. Excellent right-hand hitting team. And I think that's at the center of really a lot of the analysis that we've seen in the playoffs. We've kind of seen these handed splits really come to fruition. That was part of the play with the Diamondbacks. Maybe we should have seen it coming against Kershaw now that I think of it, right? Heavily slanted to the left-handed side. We have seen Kershaw scuffle. We know he wasn't 100%. Looking back, maybe I stepped in that rake. But both of these teams really hit right hand, pitching very well. Got to call it top three. Because I like to look at an amalgamation, right? So not just the overall stats, right? I mentioned Texas. This is the second half. Overall, 10.5 walk, 28 chase, 42 fly ball, 41 hard hit. That's a really great underpinning connection of discipline and hard hit balls, contact quality. But it's their ability to hit right in pitching that really kind of sticks out. The 340 WOBA, 326 expected. You got to realize that it's really high, considering because the sample is so large. Houston also hits right-handed pitching very, 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 very well. Let's finish up on the Texas offense, though. Simeon, Seager, Garver, and Evan Carter all finished the second half with a plus 900 OPS against righties. Carter, in particular, really popping off the page last 65. It was 65 plate appearances. 362 batting average, 1238 OPS with a 404 isolated slug. Remember, that's your extra base hit rate. And what's the Carter total bases look like? That one's just kind of screaming. Again, maybe the problem here is the walk thing, right? Carter loves to walk, and Javier's walking the world. So maybe that would be the issue with that one. But that matchup looks pretty strong. Again, I mentioned, the hyper usage of fastballs. I'm not the only idiot that sees this stuff. They're going to be waiting for it, right? So that's when I almost will look at the individual pitch stuff. When you notice it, it's when you hit that lever up to hyper use. Forget it, 40% usage of primary pitch, 45, 50, 55, 50 A's. You can sit on it. So this is barrel rate and home runs against four-seamers from righties on the year. Adolis Garcia, 18% barrel rate, 12 home runs. Seager, 24% barrel rate, 10 home runs. Garver, 29% barrel rate, 7 home runs. Jung, 22% barrel rate, 8 home runs. This is what they do. And then in that game against Javier, it was actually the back of the lineup. Go figure, of course, right? Because that's why the not as come bag says good morning. What's going on? Thank you. Grab your spear, grab your shield. We're in the middle of it. Fastest show in MLB, absolutely freaking anywhere, yo. Take that one to the bank. Tell him Big Johnny sent you. It was only, so this was, again, I fall on this stuff too, trying to cover 1 million games, right? We're doing 15 a day normally. I don't always have the time to get as granular. You see that Javier got yoked for 8 earned runs by this Texas team. However, 8 earned run game. Only 1 barrel surrender. Right? Not exactly what you'd expect. Right, so he didn't necessarily get hit all over the yard. Leote had the barrel. Leote hit a home run. Travis Jankowski hit a home run. And Seager actually hit him really hard. Seager had a 530 xWOBA. So I like the Seager total bases today. Like maybe I know Matty Williams is going to do a home run roulette on the other side for Scherzer, but I think these both might be in play. What's the Seager total bases look like, man? It's hard for me to get away from Corey Seager in this matchup. If the total bases start with a negative, which they do, it looks like. Sorry for squinting. I don't know. Sometimes my read it's me. Maybe they hit run and ribby. Although sometimes that's even worse. Because it's a 2.5. Yikes. Skip it. Quit it. What I'd probably be doing, if I was able to, is probably building some SGPs on the smaller SGPs, right? Correlative SGPs. And that way you can get all the things that we mentioned. Go play for it all, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put one together. I'll post it on Twitter at John Laghezza if I got to put my own stuff. Coming at you hot and heavy. As always, plus 115 off the crack of the bat. NFL data is up for next week. Remember, Jay Bird, our beloved Mr. Cooper, hosting Forward Progress, FWD Progress HQ on Twitter and Forward Progress on YouTube. And then yours truly is hanging out with him and Freeman plus Jack Miller, Oracle, dropping some props, on Friday. So shows Thursday and Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern. All right, back into the baseball. Stuggs got Seager RBI. See, you know what, man? I want to tell you something. One is thank you. Two is that's what I'm talking about, right? I love the fact that there are people here that are either looking to expand on the stuff I'm talking about or build off it, right? Or push up against it. Appreciate you, Stug. Yes, you absolutely should be looking at I don't know what the RBI prop market looks like. I know, again, my man Joke at BTB, they crushed the RBI market at the end of the year. You will absolutely expect them to come out with it. Again, I had never even thought of it. And I put up, I've done DFS stuff in the past and jock market stuff in the past where, again, the prop stuff is the same thing. It's DFS play, right? Again, these are all very similar model rings, home runs and bases and stuff like that. I had never thought about the multiple RBI market. It's legit crazy odds and really plus EV stuff. So I just appreciate everybody in the comments section. So Stug, Ask All Pro, back in the house. We talking everything and we give to the books nothing and we take from them everything. Madness. This isn't madness. This is Sparta, baby. Love it. Right? We may not be huge. I get it. Look at this big mouth over here talking all this shit, 100 and some odd views, whatever. Oh, look at him. Just the beginning, man. Snowflakes are full and soon the ball starts to roll. People gravitate to this kind of stuff because it matters. We talk about this stuff. That matters. I have the black eyes. I have the scars. I have the verified track record of making money betting on MLB every single freaking day of my life for the past, 3 or 4 years. I've been public with a, public-facing model. Totally transparent. Everything out in the open. Come on, baby. That's what people want, right? We hear you. And if you're digging it, picking up what we're putting down, you know what to do. Rate, review, cartoon fingers, stick them inside me, big mouth, bells, and all that stupidness. Jay, while we're advertising, I should ask you how much prep you need. Could you plug in? It felt like a good handoff, and of course I botched it anyway. Jay, could you tell me about BetStamp? Thanks, man.
For sure, John. I got you here. Guys, you know the drill. If you're looking to improve as a sports bettor, we find the easiest way to do so is to have multiple sports books and to always get the best odds. We recommend using an odds comparison tool like BetStamp to do that. BetStamp simply compares odds across every sports book, including games, player props, and futures. Save time, save money. Download the app today. And if you're looking to sign up for more sports books, make sure you head over to betstamp.app/call to the pen. And if you sign up through that page, it helps support the show. Now back to John.
Yeah. Best ad read in the game. Jay, I pour my heart and soul into every single episode. I really do, right? I give everything I have every single day, like that Paul O'Neill warrior mentality, but I'm never above improving. I promise you, the very top of my improvement whiteboard is going to be these handoffs on the ad read. I swear, man. I'm going to work on a better transfer system. I feel like I leave you hanging, or I feel like I come in late with them sometimes, right? We got to show these people that we love them. Supporting the thing that we do, me and you with the Call to Pen crew. All right. So we got a couple things we're sniffing around. Again, I like the Javier outs, but I think we could get over the earned runs also. Man, that one jumped. I thought it was 1.5. Now it's at 2.5. I don't think I want to get him to 3 runs. So again, I like the Seager stuff. I like the RBI stuff. I mean, I think even if we're looking at good pitching and strong bullpens and stuff, right, you don't want to totally ignore some of these matchups, right? These kind of premium matchups, and especially I mentioned a home run roulette. If you're unfamiliar with that, it's, find a set of players on one team with higher home run odds than you have players, right? So if you have 4 players, make sure all the odds are plus 500 or better, right? And work your way down. So that if anybody hits home run, it's a profitable venture. And of course, you open the door for all of them. Had I mentioned it yesterday, we were talking about, again, I'm not committed enough to some of the prop stuff. The Phillies that we picked out, like in order, they all hit home runs. runs. Everybody did like exactly what we said that they were capable of doing, and that would have been one interesting way to get at it. We would have pegged everybody, or 3 out of 4, right? Because Schwarber, Turner, we had Casty, Harper was the only one that didn't bomb. Anyway, the analysis that matters when you're rolling with us. Again, feel free to build off, and I know I have blind spots. We all do. All right, let's go into the other side. Man, Max, chairman of the board, is one blue eye. He's been excellent in the playoffs in his career, right? We haven't seen him in a while. So, again, question marks abound. 133 career playoff innings, 315 ERA to a 108 whip, 29% K, only 6% walk, doing the thing he does, shoving people around, 30% CSW with a 1 homer 9, right? Everything kind of firmly in place, exactly what you'd expect. Bochy said, they said baseline 70 pitches. Well, I understand he threw 70 pitches against live hitters. They're not saving this guy. Extra one more year or not. They're not saving this guy. If he's got bullets and he looks strong, he's going. Competitive game. Jay, hit the Scherzer outs also. I'm gonna kind of IKB this line and we'll see if I get smushed. 12.5 outs, we're getting plus money, right? We're getting plus money for Scherzer, 12.5 outs. I mean, I'm into it. Now, Scherzer's season stuff is a little wonky because he made the move. So I wanted to zoom in a little bit. I looked at the 5-game, right, even the home stats, right, because of his midseason move. So 5 games started in Texas, okay? I saw a 4 or 5 ERA, and I started to get a little bit worried, but all the other pinning stuff extremely strong. So 5 games started, 4 or 5 ERA, which again is math, but a 113 whip, 608 OPS is very good, 33% K to double-digit walk. So the 10% walk is optimal. But 44 ground ball, 239 expected WOBA, and 1 home run per 9. Those are very strong. Like if you're going to get that, you're going to get a dominating performance. Right? I guess if it's short of the ERA, but that's like the output. What I mean is 33K, 10 walk, 44 ground ball, 240 X WOBA means like a couple of ground balls, weak ground balls at that, got through that shouldn't, and then maybe there was like a home run. So underpinning says, don't worry about Mad Max. 4-seamer is 94 miles an hour, which isn't great. He throws it a ton. Again, we have another case of this. 46% fastball use, 455 X slug is not great. 26% whiff is very good for a 4-seamer, but it's also responsible for 11 home runs. Now, Scherzer has a bit more sink than we expect from these hyper usage fastballs. He's up over 15. Remember, you want to be below 13, closer to 10. Very few people, starters, I should say, are flatter than 10. But Scherzer does have double-digit, nearly a foot of arm side run on the 4-seamer and more than 6 feet of extension. So that's where the juice on his fastball comes from. Then that slider that he throws to righties only. Man, really good lesson here for people. Fantasy, maybe betting and otherwise. Just a really good rake to not step on to help further your understanding of Arsenal disparity. I don't know. I wrote about this at The Athletic once and called it having a targeted approach. Funny enough, it was actually about Max Scherzer. I wonder if maybe I'm going to follow up on that because this really is interesting, and I think it's really important that we kind of understand what we're describing it. So again, when you look at Scherzer's arsenal as a whole from the broadest viewpoint, the slider's at 17%, which again is not nothing, but it's easy to kind of push aside as a secondary, even tertiary. Some people once you're below 20, it's well. But because it's like he only throws to righties, like a 0 in the lefty column, it's actually 35% of the righties where it becomes a primary pitch. So it's important to understand that. The thing is that pitch also getting hit very hard, though it doesn't do swift. So 465 expected slug to 36 whiff, which is like, man, it's 2 sides of the coin. Another 10 home runs. Those 2 pitches responsible, again, for the vast majority of the power stroke. The rest of the stuff is fantastic, which weird you don't see more of it. Changer, curve, and cutter. Max 270 X slug. Like quite literally half. Minimum 28 whiffs. So he has 3 pitches in the arsenal that I would describe as a money pitch that we're just not seeing a ton of. And I wonder if he's going to throw more of those today. that we don't know exactly what we're going to get. 27 games started, 14 quality starts, 8 money starts. Remember, 7 and 2, 7 innings minimum, 2 earned run maximum, 10 strikeouts, 3 times. Now, again, I brought it that 12.5 out prop. He's gone over that 22 of 27 starts. Like, it's happening more often than not. The workload is an issue. I'm seeing some stuff in the chats kind of roll in. Yeah, I don't know. Is he refreshed? Is he rusty? They're saying that he threw 70. Didn't they say he's going to throw 70? From what I understood, he threw 70 against live batters. I know somebody else had confirmed that, not to me privately. Which, you know what I mean, is you're adding, generally adding 5 or 10. And then given the circumstance, again, if you, like I said, the radar gun is going to tell you that. If he's got the 94 on the gun, I don't think you're going to see him come out before 70 pitches if he's pitching well. Right? If he's throwing 92 and he just gave up his 3rd homer in the 2nd inning, obviously all bets are off. I don't know what we're going to get, man. Playoff Scherzer has been pretty damn good. His hit prop is also at 3.5. He's gone over that. 17 of 27. It's like that kind of split. Feels like a coin flip, but it's juice, so no thanks. His walk prop's at 1.5. He's gone over 16 of 27. I want to get with the strikeout prop. Because this one, I think, Jay, I think the pathway is open for it, even without the outs. I don't know, did you hit the outs? If you hit the outs, that's fine, because I'm betting it myself. But I know I like the strikeouts, because I saw 4.5 and near even money. Yeah, I saw 4.5 minus 105 public book easily available. So I think the door is open to that no matter what. But we could, we get 5 strikeouts and without going over the out. Of course, I like to think they're going to both go together. I would hit them both. I'm sorry. I had my eye off the ball when you had the pricing up there. So I don't know if we hit it or what the price is for the outs. But I do like both of those over. I think, I know someone in the chat was on the other side of this. And I kind of hate bucking up against what anyone's smart enough to listen to the show, right? You're obviously pretty damn smart. But I'm really malleable. You know what I mean? I hate to be like this, I'm right and you're wrong. Because I don't know. This is going to, we're going to find out in a couple hours that I could be totally wrong. So I just kind of usually wish people the best of luck and, hope they don't overlove her. That's kind of why I'm able to have the attitude that I have. I get the question a lot, like, how do you been? People wonder, like, dude, you're like a crazy person. How do you stay so even keel when it comes to the actual results? And that's, the answer. You manage your risk. That was great advice I got a long time ago was, how much do you know how to bet? How much do you know how to bet? The answer is quite literally an answer. You lower the amount until you don't care if you lose, and there's your answer. There's your answer. You make the best decisions when you don't care if you lose. You won't be sweating it. You won't be pushing. You won't be pressing. You know what? The odds play out in your favor. And you never get in trouble that way, even if you go through a little downslide. So, like, being responsible and lowering the temperature of your reactions kind of, again, snowballs, because that's one of the key pieces into consistency of your work ethic, right? Because we, as crazy as of a person as I am, as much fun as we have when we spin off the rails and stuff, right? I do have a very kind of focused approach to this stuff, and I self-audit along the way. So Jim says, I love it. One of us is going to win. That's what I'm saying. One of us. Someone's going home a winner. And in fact, hey, man, you build another great lesson, Jim. Thank you so much. Spinning bowls here like crazy. If you build like a smart, robust ticket, we could be on the opposite side of these things in both. And that's always key. Also, something we mentioned in baseball, play with robust tickets. I think you should do that no matter what, right? If you pick one play and that's the 1.5% of your stack, you lose. Man, losing a full 1.5% of your stack is a lot. Because I'm going to play 1.5% of my stack, but I'm going to have, 15 plays or 12 plays and look to play closer around even, hardly an all or not. Hardly all or not. Very rarely, in fact, through an entire baseball season to where you lose more than a unit betting 1.5 units. Again, just part of the sustainability aspect. Hopefully what you get here, and I know there's not too many other places, rate, review, and subscribe. Because that shite matters more than it should. So let's wrap it up and get out of here. I can't believe it. How did I do this one game? All right, so right, we're on Scherzer. Hey, you gotta like the strikeouts. I mean, 20 and 20, it's just his deal. So 2 starts at Houston. I mean, it was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I can never remember which is the good one. First start in June at Houston, goes 8 innings, gives up 1, strikeouts 8, walks 1. Whoa, 81-81. Monster start, big time money start, shoved them. Then at home, he goes 3 innings, gives up 7, doesn't. Strikes out 4, walks 2. Doesn't get the out prop, doesn't get the strikeout prop. And I guess that's what people are looking at. The more recent one that was in early September. I know we generally don't back pitchers coming off the IL, but I do think this is a kind of a rare case, and I think where playoff stuff comes into play. And I also think the lines are really low. I don't have a history of Scherzer strikeout props, but man alive, even we have history of his starts off the IL. I don't, like I said, I don't have access to those lines, but it's hard to believe he's ever posted a 4.5 and not even like an even 5. So I actually think that strikeout prop's going to close at even 5. I want to get that sooner than later. Houston offense, we know they're good. We know they hit righties, right? We've been going over this from the beginning. But it's the front of the lineup and all the really big bats that do it. Altuve, Bregman, Jordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, and Junior Diaz. So you're getting it from the catcher also. Plus 930 OPS in the second half. Each one of those guys also hit 8 home runs off righties in the second half. So, killing right-hand fastballs, that's going to be the key because that's what we're going to see a ton of. So if I had to pick in the home run roulette, I've got Jordan Alvarez, 29 barrel and 6 home runs. I've got Kyle Tucker, 15% barrel and 6 home runs. And Chas McCormick, 19% barrel and 7 home runs. And Chas McCormick home run prop should be pretty tasty, right, Jay? It's got to be at least like +6 or +7. I don't see, this is odd. Like, I would bet some kind of weird fraction of a unit because I'm not trying to get smoked on home run props. But I don't know if we go lower than $1. So we could skip it. But those are the guys that I like if you're playing DFS or any of these prize pick things or parlaying hits and stuff like that. I like Jordan, Kyle Tucker, Chas McCormick. Those are my 3. Astros, and then against Max, I zoomed in on those games a bit more. Jordan Alvarez, Jose Abreu, Junior Diaz had the big expected WOBAs, all had plus 380 expected against him. And it was Jordan Alvarez, Brantley, and Jose Abreu that hit the home runs, actually. So, just to give you an idea. Our guys were Jordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, and Chas McCormick. How about you want to do what? You want to do like a hit prop on those things? Although, again, if you're going to parlay 3 Astros to get hits, I feel like you almost got to go over. Although, I guess we can get the hits off the reliever, so maybe scratch that, reverse it. No big deal, mi gente. Tim York, what's going on? Welcome aboard. Appreciate you, everybody, kind of sticking along with us through October. Most of these shows have kind of packed it in. Let me begin. We came to win, obviously. Battle us. That's a sin. When you go up against Sparta, you know what you're going to get. So remember, it's Jordan, Brantley, and Abreu that homer. I don't know about the repeat there. I think the lesson there is Scherzer's pumping fastballs, and those sometimes go out. I wonder what his earned runs are now that I think about it. Max is at 1.5 plus 100. And it's like, Tim York making money in the fields. Yes, we did. Yes, indeed we did. I had a lovely one yesterday. It doesn't seem congruent. The books don't like to put up flat run numbers, the flat lines at 2. But right, Jay, does that make sense? That makes sense unless their anticipation is that Scherzer doesn't go far, but also doesn't give up runs. Man, I think I like the Scherzer earned runs. I would hit that one too. Jay, Scherzer 2 earned runs. I mean, it's plus money too. I got plus money for over 1.5. Just as you can't get a home run, the home run he gives up could be a 2-run dingling. I just think all these. I think we hit all these because I think that's a Scherzer line. Like, I think you get 5 innings. I think we're over. I think he strikes out 6 or 7 guys, and there's your over. I think he gives up 2 earned runs. So hopefully we build another kind of correlative pitching ticket as we get out of here, everybody. Thank you so much for picking up what we're putting down. Jay, could you scroll past the bets as I wrap up this bad boy? Remember, this is brought to you by BetStamp. And Rob Pizzola, the pizza man from up north, bringing you the large round. Take our boy, man. Take Uncle Rob. Let him know what kind of a job we're doing over here. He loves to hear about it, man. I'm telling you. He loves it. Take him anytime of day. Take him anytime. Well, because I love seeing those things. And even if he doesn't respond, you know when bosses see it. You know they love that stuff. I don't care I don't care what nobody says. Because again, this world is algorithmically driven, and if you're smart enough to listen to the show and you're here at 41 minutes in, then you understand that. So let's get out of here. Yeah, that's it, everybody. I guess enjoy the games, enjoy the game, singularity. Enjoy the game, enjoy your day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. Hopefully we put together a nice little prop ticket. And we'll check you tomorrow. Any day there's a game, we will have a show here at 9:30 a.m. Call to the Bend HQ. And remember, when you work this hard, feels a lot less like luck. See you tomorrow. Peace.